Joining us now is one of my favorite people in the entire UCLA athletic department. Unfortunately, that's just changed in recent weeks, as he is now just transferred to the University of Oklahoma to become the next edition of the Sooner football program. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. Chris, welcome to the show, my man. We appreciate you jumping on with us. How you been, bro?
I'm doing good, bro.
Easy,
Pleasure to be on it, bro. Pleasure to be on here. I'm excited to talk to y'all. Thanks for inviting me.
I appreciate that, my man. Family's doing well. Everyone good. I know it's crazy times out there right now. So solid.
Yeah, we are solid down here, though.
Right on. So as you know, as I'm sure, it's a big time of the year. Obviously, tomorrow is the day that I feel like is marked on everyone's calendar. And, should things play to fruition for you next year or the year after, my man, it'll, I'm sure, be a date that'll be circled on your calendar, because I have no doubt about your potential and success that you're going to have in the not too distant future. But that being said, man, we were talking earlier amongst ourselves in the show about some predictions and just walking through, especially, the top 5 picks and the teams, and, whether it be team needs or what we thought might happen, who they'd pick. So I just want to get your 2 cents on that and basically figure out who you think, the Bengals and some of those top 5 teams might be taken. Will we see any surprises? Or are we going to see the man, the myth, the legend out of college, Joe Burrow, stick at that number 1 spot?
Yeah, no, I don't think anything's gonna change with that first spot as far as that. I feel like it's just like a no-brainer. I feel like if the first team don't draft Joe Burrow, that's kind of just they're making a mistake. So as far as that, I feel like the first person going out for sure gonna be Joe. I know there's some offensive tackles that's going high this year. Like one of my favorites, Jedrick Willis Jr. He plays right tackle at Alabama. He's just a dog. He just be bullying. He just be bullying people. So I'm excited to see where he goes. I'm also excited to see where Jerry Jeudy goes, because he's just a human highlight. So I think they had him going top 10. I don't remember what team he's going, but I'm excited to see where he goes. And also, I feel like a lot of people not forgot about, but for sure needs to be up there is Jalen Hurts. Even though that just now that I'm a Sooner, I'm not just saying that just because of that, but like that dude is a god. Like you have to realize that he went to Bama, won a national championship, and then came over to Oklahoma and almost did the same thing with a not as good team. So I'm excited to see where he goes, just because I like his story, I like his work ethic, and I think if any team was able to get a quarterback like him, they'd be solid. So I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts
Absolutely.
I feel that. And you know what? Just to back up what you're saying, look, you don't have to be a Sooner to appreciate that man's game. I mean, I'll tell you what. I was literally watching that Baylor-Oklahoma game when it looked like Oklahoma was down for the count, and that man. I know that Stephen A. refers to Aaron Rodgers as that bad man up in Green Bay, but Jalen Hurts is being that bad man in Oklahoma who just absolutely revitalized that team to still secure the win against Baylor in what was probably one of the best games of the entire college football season that I think people might sleep on. It's funny that you mentioned your boy from Bama, Willis Jr., because I like him going in that 4 spot to the Giants, because they need to protect Daniel Jones with that just absolutely just inept O-line. So we'll see what plays out there.
Yeah, they haven't met. He's all right, but he's so athletic that they probably gonna look around and push him over to the left anyway.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, being on the O-line yourself and your game and your style, there are a few things I always, like to earmark when I talk about the NFL draft, and that's unlike a lot of other leagues when they draft. It seems to me that a lot of times, the teams will take the best talent regardless of need at that position. That's a little different compared to basketball. And also, with that being said, anything can happen, and especially in a year where we got some pretty deep, players when it comes to or options rather that you got at QB and wide receiver. So with that being said, obviously, you mentioned Jalen Hurts, we've mentioned Joe Burrow, you've got Justin Herbert, you've got Tua, who can't be slept on regardless of the injuries. But by being an O lineman, whose game from a quarterback's perspective would you want to I guess if in a perfect world, if you had the choice to work with who would you want to protect? Exactly. Who would you want to go to war with?
feel like either Tua or Jalen Hurts, just because like I'm more of like a like when I'm on that field, like I just feel like I feel like I play and fuel from passion. You feel me? And I can see that like when Tua be playing, like he feeds on that. He feeds off that shit. Like when they threw him in the fourth quarter and he was on the spotlight for one of his first championship games. Like he lives for that moment. It's like, you feel me? So like I just feel like a leader that like feeds off of passion and off of like his love of the game is so like intense that like he shows it on the field. Like that's something that like will rub off on me. So like I for sure probably want to play with Tua, just because like I feed off that shit. Like I feed off energy. So like if he turn on the field, like I'm turned. You feel me? So like I feel like I would for sure want to play with Tua, but also I want to play with Jalen Hurts too, just because I like it's like that quarterback position. You really like, it's not like you really gotta be a leader. It's no like, oh, half and half I can be just, no, it's like, nah, like this is your squad. Like so it's from the attributes that I've seen, and like from what I've seen them in interviews and all that stuff, for sure either Tua or Jalen.
Hey, Chris, I want to thank you for having us on. One of the most respectable, humble, hardworking guys I've met personally at UCLA.
I appreciate that, fam.
Yeah. So have you talked to any of the guys like Darnay Holmes, Devin Asiasi, or Joshua Kelly about their preparation for the NFL draft, or any other buddies that you've played with before, and just got any insight to this year?
Out of like all of like we like, you can never not be close with a teammate just because of the stuff you go through when you strap up. But like most in general, I be talking to Darnay. That's my boy, so I be talking to him like just like on the regular frequently, just tapping in, see how he's doing. But it's just kind of just like when Darnay declared for the draft, it was like I already knew that his mental and how he carried himself was like already there. So it was just like a lot of people didn't even like know that like he was gonna declare, but it was just like you could see it on somebody when it's like, okay, he knows what he's gonna step into. Like, you feel me? So it was like I knew that Darnay was college, that he needed to go to the next stage, that he was gonna go to the next step just by his demeanor and stuff. I knew, because he's a very, very professional guy. So as far as like his preparation, like he was preparing to go to the league since as soon as season ended. So he was. I just know that like right as soon as season ended, he got with this guy named, let me look right now. He tapped in with Vayner Sports, which is ran by y'all for sure probably know who Gary Vee is. So he started tapping in with Gary Vee, and not also seeing where he could better himself physically, but like see where he could better himself mentally. And that's why I really admire and love about Darnay, is because he's from Pasadena, and he was always made it a thing that I'm a football player, but while I'm here at UCLA, I'm going to evolve also physically, but my mental, and use the resources that they have given me to do that. And so I know that when he left, he knew that Gary Vee could help him do that, because I know y'all be seeing how Gary Vee be moving on the media. Like, that guy is like this as far as fixing problems, and as far as business solutions and all that. So I just know that he's been not rocking him, but for sure have been talking with Vayner Sports, and just getting prepared that way.
Yeah, Chris, I want to take you back to your high school career for a second. You went to Mater Dei, obviously, I believe, after your freshman year.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell like the ordinary listeners about your story because I believe you were training, like you took a train every morning from Palmdale just to get to Mater Dei. So I want you to expand on that a little bit.
Could you repeat that question, Garland? My earphones.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're good. So I want you to tell people about how because I believe you took a train from Palmdale to Mater Dei for a little while. I want you to tell people about that if you're fine with talking about that.
Yeah, I'm just like, just basically like all the way up until my senior year. I had a single mama. We stayed in Palmdale with my grandparents, and it was like I'm the youngest of my three brothers, and I'm the most physically biggest out of all three of us. And just out of like 8th grade, like my mom like okay, like if really wanted to, like he could play at the next level if somebody helps him get there, preparing wise. And so I had a couple of friends that my mom knew, and she was looking at what school that would best help me, like prepare me, like in the school and football. And we looked around we looked around. One of my homies was saying that Modern Day was a great program. That could prepare. Really, it's a college prep program, and like it was like Palmdale from Santa Ana is like an hour and a half. So like to me, I was just like, why do I have to go all the way out there to go to school? And I can go on my set. Like, you feel me? I could play with the homies that I grew up with. But it was to the point where it's like I needed to get out, and there could be no like, I went to high school and I missed my opportunity, and like my mom wasn't gonna let that happen. Like she knew that I had this gift, and she said she didn't want it to go to waste. So she sacrificed for 3 years sending me out there. I had no business going out there. We were struggling, no business driving out there to go to school, but it was my mom's love and her vision in me that I could do it. So that's why I really, when I was driving that far, it just humbled me. It just basically just like, I'm coming out here for a reason. Like I wasn't coming out like a lot of people were really like going out there to go to school. Like I'm going to school, but like I'm out here like because I really gotta put on. Like I'm either gonna get out or I'm probably not gonna go to college. And it was like, that wasn't always in the back of my head, because I knew if I didn't get a scholarship, I probably wasn't going to go to college. That was just the situation my family was in, and they just kept it a band with me. Like it was like, you either get out and play and get a scholarship for football, or like we don't have enough money for y'all, so it was just money for you. So it was just like it was brutal. It was brutal honest. So it was brutal honesty, but it was my fuel and my drive. So I wasn't. So it was not cool, but I'm saying it was good for the moment and good for my building me up. And so yeah, that's basically all the way up until my senior year. I was waking up probably like at 4:30 in the morning, and then my mom taking me, dropping me off at school, getting there probably at like 5:45, and then she gets on to work, and then I'm there just chilling until we got lift like at 7. We got school all day. It's probably like 3 o'clock, and then we end practicing like at 6:30, driving all the way back home, getting back home at like 8:39, doing homework, wake up, do that shit all over again for like 3 years. So that shit was a mission, but that shit was worth it, because like I swear to God, ain't nobody built like modern day fools built on the field, on the football field at least. Like Coach Rollo had us on some different shit, and I realized at first when I was in high school, I'm like, damn, why we working this hard? But then I realized it right when we got to college, because he told us like, you gonna fix it, you gonna see the frauds. Like he's like, when you get to college, you gonna see that everybody not really bought into this shit. Like I made y'all buy into this shit, but he's like, just stay true to yourself. And I realized that as soon as he got to college, what he was talking about, like people really just come to college really just to wear that jersey, really just to wear that name, and not because they love that sport, not because they trying to play professionally. So I understood exactly what he meant. But yeah, God bless Coach Rawlinson from Modern Day. That's the best coach ever.
Yeah, that's so cool, Seymour. And like, I remember Kelsey Campo talking about you when she first came to UCLA, and how it's so awesome. But anyways, I want to take you a little bit forward. Thank you again for doing this, and we're gonna miss you a lot at UCLA and just seeing you around. But yeah, tell us about your process of choosing Oklahoma, and why do you think that program suited you the most out of all the other schools you could have gone to?
What was going into my like mental when I was thinking about entering the portal and stuff is that, so like I was like, I'm getting older now, like real shit. Like I'm about to be 20 years old. I'm about to be a junior on the field, and it's like the league is getting in that talk. Like, you feel me? At first I was a freshman, I was a sophomore. You feel me? I was only really worried about getting on the field and really like getting better, but it was like getting to that point in the back of my head that I was like, all right, like I know shit's gonna get like, I know officials gonna get serious in my life. I just have to, at the end of the day, I just have to really ask myself, like, is this the football that's really going to help me best prepare myself for this next level where I want to go? And that question was no. And, like, I knew that. And I knew that in my heart, fool. Like, I knew that there was not, that I was out there not playing the football and with the people that I need to be playing with to, like, help me really grow. So that was going in my thought. And so prior to the portal, like, I didn't know who was going to hit me. Like, that's why, like, when the coaches asked me when to leave, they're like, do you have an idea? Like, I was like, nah, I'm just going out on my faith in God, dead ass. Like, I didn't have nobody. Like, that's why people ask me, like, were you talking to Oklahoma? I'm like, nah, fool. Like, I just entered it, just hoping willingly that I'll be able to go to a program that's not better, you say, but that I can go there and really just be about football and really just work on my craft. And so, like, I entered the portal. I think, like, then, like, Cal hit me up. I think, like, this old Notre Dame coach hit me up, and Oklahoma hit me up. And I'm like, I talked to the Oklahoma coach like in high school, and like that's like Coach B. I forgot, I'm not even gonna try to mess up his name, but Coach B was like probably 1, 2, or the best offensive line coach in the nation. So I'm like, that's one check. Like, you feel me? I can really get developed by one of the gurus in the game. And then I'm just like we played them. Like, I know that tenacity they about. Like, I know how much football means to them, and I know that there'll be other like people over here that are on the same mission. Feel me? So I had to that kind of just in the back of my head when they talked to me, and I start talking to them, get more comfortable with them, seeing how the scenario worked and just the situation as far as they wanted me to come in. I played as a true, so I still have my red shirt, and they have a center named Creed Humphrey that's coming back. He's supposed to go to the league this next year, but he came back. He's coming back another year, and the situation to where I can sit out 1 year, get in the Big 12 weight program, learn under him for a year, learn the system, and then when he leaves, take that spot was just sounded perfect to me. So like I was talking, I think it came down to them, FSU and Miami, but it was just kind of just a no-brainer as far as just the mentality that I want to be around and just like the situation. So yeah, that's how that really came. I didn't even really see it. Like, I've been out there. We got our ass whooped out there my freshman year. Like, you feel me? Like, I know at that stadium, like, I remember when I was a freshman, like, I was trying to talk to somebody next to me on the field, and like, you can't even hear them, fool. Like, that stadium is something else. So it's like, I was just like, I'm trying to be a part of this shit, like, no cap. So I'm excited. Right. I'm excited to get over there.
No, and Chris, we're really excited for you, man. I mean, it's gonna be tough to lose you, brother, because I loved having you around, and I got close with you this year, and it's a bummer because it's ending too short. But I'm still gonna have you even down there in Oklahoma.
Because LA my home too. Come on, stop playing.
Big facts, always. No. Never forget where you're from, and you most certainly don't. So I respect the hell out of that. But also the reason why I kind of chuckled back there when you kind of had that. Looked at yourself in the mirror and was like, look, is this since we're having that league conversation, and if that's where I want to go, like, if I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm saying to myself as a man and just like being real with it, then this is not the place I can be. And I laughed because I was like, in my mind, yeah, no shit, because like, and I don't mean that in an offensive way, but like, as well as just as I do, UCLA football is not what I don't think it's at the level that it should be, and we've all known that, and I'm a fan of your guys's, and so it's been frustrating for me, and I think a lot of the fan base to kind of watch it, and I cannot even imagine what it's like for the players putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it every single day. And with that being said, I'm not even trying to have you, knock down your boys and that brotherhood that you've developed here at UCLA, but I think, again, if we're all being real, it's not at the level that we thought, especially with the hiring of Chip Kelly. And I'm just curious if you have any idea as to why we're not at that level quite yet, as a program.
I don't, but I know that there are players on that team that are bought in, and then once that rubs off on everybody else, like, I think that shit will start clicking, because there are players on that team that really, when I strap up with them on Saturday, I'm like, okay, let's go. But then there's not everybody like that. So I think as soon as that shit just rubs, as soon as that energy just rubs off, you gonna see, because you can only put so much on the coaches, man. Like, you can't
100%.
So of course Coach Clay hasn't been doing stuff too. But if you're not buying into what he's saying, then you're not gonna see results. So I can really tell you the number one problem. But I just know that there are players on that team that really are about that shit on Saturday night. So like, it can't be this way for longer, or else they're just not gonna get mad. But I feel like some people gonna get mad. They're gonna have
100%. 100%. No, I was just curious because it's like, look, and it's so easy to knock the programs, especially the ones that we care about most, while they're down. And we're definitely on a down take. But look, I will go to my grave with saying it's not because of a lack of effort. We all know how much you boys have put in to work, and I don't let a day go by where I don't fully accept that and want people to understand how much effort is going into this. And I was just curious because it just wasn't panning out on the field. But on a more lighthearted note,
something gonna budge. It's just like, I'm at my situation with my family and stuff is like I can't wait for that to budge. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like I ain't got that time to wait for shit to budge. It's like I got
no
people
doubt.
waiting on me. Like if you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like
I
that's
feel
the
you
situation
because
I'm in.
for you at this point, it's like now you're just trying to take care of
My
the same
family.
people that made
You
sure
feel
that
me?
you got to where you're at. Yeah,
You feel me? Fool?
absolutely.
God. You already know.
100%.
You already know.
And so with that being said, I'm gonna take it to a little bit of a a little bit more of a lighthearted note now, as we're get down to wrapping this up and let you go because I know you got to work out later today and get in that Sooner shape, baby. But
Shut up, fool.
I got me and my other co-host and my boy Max Starcinich. We were just wondering, please tell me that you've been keeping up and watching some Tiger King. Like, please, for the love of God, tell me you've been watching some Tiger King.
Bro, my girl made me watch like 5 of that episodes, and this shit was low key funny as hell, bro. No, she for sure killed him, bro. And if you don't think so,
dude, deadass.
If you don't
I
think so, you're
fucking hate
tripping.
Carol
I don't
Baskin.
care.
No,
She
I
killed
hate
him.
Carol Baskin. She's coming out there with that Tiger wedding or whatever, and her husband is even more of a freak. And
You can see
hello,
it in
you
her
cats and
eyes.
kittens out there. Like, what are you? Don't call me a cat or kitten. The fuck you mean? Like, I don't understand what's good with that.
Bro, you can see it in her eyes, bro. I don't care.
No, she's such a bitch. No, she is a devil and a murderer, and I hope that she gets her
she's
comeuppance,
a
bro.
murderer for sure, fool. I don't care. Like,
She's a murderer, bro. Free Joe Exotic for all I care. Put her in jail. I mean, fucking A.
free so exotic.
Well, we'll see what's good. Hey, Seymour, man, I really appreciate you sitting down with us today and giving us this little interview, bro. It means a lot,
bro.
and
Anything for
I'm
my
glad
UCLA
that
homies.
you found your way and that you're on to bigger and better things, my man. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. You know that I'll be watching your ass, tearing it up down there.
already know.
Whether it be this year or next year. You know what's good.
You already know. I'm gonna tap in when I come back to UCLA because I got friends in for life.
Yes, sir.
Looking
Yes,
forward
sir.
to it, man.
All right, bro. Y'all stay blessed. I'm gonna talk to you hella soon.
Yeah, you too, man. Stay safe, all right?
All right.
Thank you, Seymour.
All right, folks. I'm gonna see y'all.